Welcome, Friday evening. Another Friday evening. I always used to call Fridays Relapse Day because people reward themselves on a Friday with a drink, don't they? Like, wow, had a hard week. They go and drink. That's why I've always called it Relapse Friday. Oh, well, it's heavy duty Friday, isn't it? If you're still drinking, but um, it's just a short period of time people have sometimes. So we're not going to be or Monday to Thursday, and then go back and drink. But certainly, Relapse Friday was a big thing for a lot of people to know. Hi, Leslie, how are you? Nice to see you. It's getting a bit colder, isn't it? Much darker, much earlier at night. Hello, Dan, how are you? Nice to see you. I'm just saying there earlier, Friday is when a lot of people relapse and think, well, I'm going to have a couple of beers to celebrate the fact I've actually had a big, busy week. You know what I mean? Busy week. Any day is a good day for drinking them, really. Hello, James. How are you doing? Hi, Dave K. How are you doing? I actually met a friend of mine who's been sober for about 3 years earlier, and just by chance, it wasn't for a coffee or anything. He said, one of the days good when we used to drink. I mean, he wasn't where I was. I was in London at the time. I said, yeah, they were really. I look back. When I was young, there were some good days. Well, that's why we did it, isn't it? Hi, Paula. Paul, thanks very much for that. Cheers. The good old days when you used to go for drink when you were young. And hi there, evening men. Start with 10 round. The boy would go again. Yeah, it's 2 nights in a row now. Good, isn't it? Hi there. Pipe them in. The senior service in the Navy, isn't it? I don't know why it's senior. The army, I'm sure people walk before they get on boards, but another one says senior service. They're on Navy. Weird. Yes, come to this friend of mine I bumped into. He had mental health problems. It was a bit like me, though, but he was more extreme. And we did sort of reminisce, although we didn't drink together, but the timing was the same. When we were in the 30s, when we used to drink a lot. And we did have some good nights, crazy nights, if that makes sense, where people would just go a bit below the top. But we could cope with it when we were young. No, we can't. I did a video at night about how I really struggled after my last relapse, which was 2014. It's a long time ago now. But, after 8 years sober, to go back on the booze, yeah, it killed me. And my advice to anybody who does relapse is to get sober straight away. I'll let it go too long, a few weeks actually, boozing, drinking up too much, and getting to the point where I thought, well, I can handle it, maybe, but we can't handle it. So if you have one or two, even 10 or 20, you've got to try and get back. But I know a lot of people have said that when they have relapsed, it's hard to get back. It takes longer to get sober again with each passing relapse, as it were, But it's very dangerous relapse, and I think I've mentioned it 1,000 times. It's a killer. It's nearly a killer for me. Hi Neil, hope you're well. So if you do find yourself wanting a drink, having a drink, picking up the first drink, then once you've done that and made that mistake, then you have to get back on the sober wagon. Because if you don't, it's going to take you the whole world of trouble, and it's not a good thing. There's a lot of us know here who've relapsed many times. We do it because we think we can handle it, or we can think we're cured. You're never going to be cured. There's always that temptation to go back, and we all hit bad times, don't we? Nobody has an easy run through in life. Everyone's got problems. Nice, Sheila. Hope you're well. So we've got to be very careful of this drawback. I mentioned before, Paul Gascoigne, massive drinker, problem drinker, wasn't he? Still is. He always said, don't pick up. What he means about that, don't pick up the first drink. Because as soon as you've done that, you're knackered, aren't you? You're gone, really. So, senior service formed in 1543, was the first to get the Royal One by Henry VIII. Okay, I don't know. Well done. I like that. Bit of history there, you see. Learn something every day here. Evening, Steve. Chris, Ted. Good evening, Stephen. I hope you're well. Enjoy your time away. Yeah, it was good, Chris. Nice. Turkey was good. Too many kebabs, though. They need to change the menus a little bit. But the weather was good. Good value for money. Better in the UK, of course. Gareth. Hi, Steve. Just saying hello from Dublin. Nice to see you. Had a good 3-hour walk with the dog. Doing okay at the moment. Hope everyone is well. This shit is hard. We keep going night all. Yeah, we've got to have to keep focused. Stoic, how you doing, Stoic? I'm just waiting for a little while. Good evening to you. And chat Friday is just another day. Ends of May. It's very true. But it is a day when a lot of people do hit the bottle, isn't it? Even if they just got a couple of days off it, I'm not going to stop drinking midweek. They'll hit the booze again Friday. 90% of people will. Unless you like us, we're the exclusive minority trying to beat it, or beating it, as it were. Golden Spider Duck. Yeah, there's always that weird conversation ahead of. I've done so well staying sober, I deserve a drink as a reward. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Even though you know it's going to harm you. Christopher, I'm happy Friday, Stephen. It's day 271 of the booze. Thank you for your answer. Well done, Chris. It's a good run, isn't it? 271. Keep it going. Christmas is a difficult time for us all, with emotions and just the whole Christmas bizarre carry on that we all have for no reason. Not in my head, anyway. That we all seem to want to get completely hammered at Christmas and New Year. The Stoic said it's just another day. Just another day. And nice to see the two moderators here. I haven't seen Beef and Chicken. We wasn't on last night. Or Bertie, hope they're okay. Frank, how can I chat with you soon? Is it on Messenger? Normally we'll do WhatsApp if you text me on this number. If you're in the UK, but if you're not, +44. Then I'll sort something out for you to have a chat. That's the number, Frank. There's also a link on all of the descriptions of every video as well. Then an email address, and phone number, and a link to one-to-ones on the book. There's all sorts of things on there. So yeah, we think we're going to have a good time by hitting the booze on Christmas Eve, or before Christmas. Bank holidays are the same, aren't they? But does you know good, doesn't know. I don't think there's anybody here, or anybody I've spoken to, that can be a social drinker again. Many have tried. I've tried for years. I don't know why I actually wanted to be a drinker again. I just think, well, I've had a little bit of time off. I'll just have one or two. What was the point in that? What do you see in that? Why do you actually want to get back in the game of going to the pub, spending a fortune, losing things, being idiots? Some people get into a lot of trouble, causing domestic issues, feeling terrible, missing time off work, feeling sick, looking horrendous, can't sit in the dentist chair, can't sit in the hairdresser's chair, can't drive on motorways. All of these things, crackers. Dave, I didn't have an off switch. That was like me. The fear of missing out. It wasn't like missing out. I used to enjoy the pub atmosphere, you know, especially when I was in central London, because it never stopped. And I used to think, I hope this never ends. My life was good then. You know, I was quite young. Policeman with a better rank in West End of London. The drink was part of that. The social scene was part of that. The job was ancillary to my social life, if that makes sense. Although I did a good job, so I've been told. You know, if I had one or two, it would be good nights. It's over, yeah. It's bizarre, isn't it? And even if you've been off for a long time, you have one or two, you feel the need the next day to go back to it. To be back in this sort of club, this hub of drinkers. It's mad, isn't it? Somebody in the chat last night said you were drinking again on Rick's channel. Drinking again on Rick's channel. I couldn't comment because I'm banned probably. They're running this thing. No, I don't know. Said you are drinking again. I'll get a few like that. I get lots of stupid fucking messages. You know. If I drink again, I'll be dead, wouldn't I? I'll be in hospital. Dave K could never have a couple. I'd be 10 or more. Yeah, same as me. It's, you know, Mickey Flanagan, the comedian says, you get the flavour. I call it the taste. Once you get the taste, you think, wow, fancy a drink, Story. One is too many, 100's not enough. So true. Yeah, you can't. If you can't moderate it, then you can't. We all know we can't moderate it. That's why we're here. There's nothing like having a nice couple of drinks. We can't do that. That's how we started, isn't it? Having a few. But most of us, I'd imagine, started having a few and then it built up quite quickly, having a lot, which doesn't help. If you'd like to support the channel, please hit the super chat button. The more people that support, the more I can do with it. There's also the coffee link at the top there. If you want to support us and keep it moving, keep us at the top of the league, or near the top of the league, as it were, because it's good that we're here helping each other. How is all about any change? I've seen a little bit of him. I'm done with the sub scene, but I don't watch him really. He looks strange at times, but I'm sure he's a reasonable bloke at times. But I'm missing a few regulars here. Maybe don't know one. I didn't put a post, but I should have. Mr. Tildo. Did you relapse him? I relapsed in 2014. That was my last relapse. So 11 years ago now. It really took me to the bottom, yeah. It was bad time. Dave Williams, how you done? Beat yourself up. Good days, but I haven't had a drink for 6 years actually. But I relapsed 2014 after being off for 8 years. Ended up in hospital. It was really bad. So I drank 2014, 2019, so we're in 6 years. Yeah. It was 11 years ago when I had that last relapse. So I had 8 years off, 2006 to 2014. Then relapsed 2014, drank for 2019. I've been out of sober since. So otherwise, I would have been well dead by now. If I drank again in 2019, it would have been curtains for me. We'll always be standing on the edge of a cliff, one step in the wrong direction, and we are finished. That is the price we pay for sobriety. Yeah, you've got to keep an eye on it. But at the moment, I would say I was very sober, confident really, because my health's good. I have to get checked twice a year, but everything's fine. Thanks, Debbie. If anybody wants to support the channel, please drop a super chat in, or buy me coffee links at the top there. Yeah, so relapse is not good. It's one of them things which will it all creeps up on you in a way. You may think that you're feeling okay, because I didn't go hammering tongue initially. I remember the first drink I had before I went away in that camper van, and that was just a couple of drinks. And then I did another 7 days off, and I drove down there to south of France, and I got pitched this camper van thing. It was a hell of a drive, and I thought, I fancy a couple of drinks. Went down to the camp shop. I think I called them these Carrefour things, and got a few drinks, a few bottles, and thought, this is quite nice. I have 2 or 3, and as you know, you feel rough the next day, and then you get this feeling of, God, I feel terrible. I'm going to have hair of the dog, because we're used to it by then, aren't we? Most people, my father never had a drink in the morning. My mother never had a drink in the morning. I had this drink to try and get over. I try and cope with the withdrawal. So Bear Stroke, the whole channel has turned against him. Credit card fraud, drink driving, and lying about his 30-day absence. That is the last time we've seen him. I'm up with some doctors don't care. I think the NHS has just been overwhelmed, to be honest. I know that in my situation, 2014, I just couldn't get any medication. That would have helped me a massive amount. I wanted to stop. I'd done it before. And when they said, oh, you might get addicted, I think, well, I haven't had any for 8 years. How am I going to get addicted to it? But I think it was just a policy. I'm sure people will abuse the system, as they always do and everything. Mark, starting a new hobby helps, as it gives you something to do, especially when you think, what will I do instead of drinking? Of course, Mark, yeah. I mean, that's a good sort of in itself. And, the amount of time you drink, recover from drink, travel to the pub, getting back from the pub, struggling out of bed. There's a lot of spare time to fill in, isn't it? Oh, thanks, Dave, for the coffee. Which please, you want to support the channel, there's a coffee link at the top there, or buy me a super chat button, buy me a coffee link. And the more people that support, the more I can do, and the more we all help each other. Dan, I think we relapse because of nostalgia and temporary escapism. Yeah, I think nostalgia. Like I said earlier, I met a friend of mine who we went together. We didn't know each other years ago. But we went about various times we used to drink heavily. I was in London, he was in Newcastle, and I did have some good times. I look back, but I had some horrendous times as well. And the horrendous times far outweigh the good times. There's a hell of a lot of pain for very short-term gain, and to get the buzz. The last 20 years, I've only drank 4.5 years out of the last 20 years. That's 4.5 years, 2014, 2019, as it were. I didn't really enjoy the drink. I was doing it because I felt I had to prevent the withdrawal, to prevent the seizure, really. So, somehow, none of that surprised me. So yeah, it could be nostalgia, Dan. And, like I said, getting back in the game, but what game we're getting back into? This is a far better game being sober, being reliable, being able to help yourself, being able to have a good diet, maybe go to the gym if you want, go for a walk, drive the car, go to the shop. I couldn't do any of them things. And I think somebody mentioned last night, when you drink, your life becomes very stagnant. You can't move on with anything. You can't progress with anything. You're not productive in your day. And you're not really doing anything at all, are you? Other than drinking to try and feel better and get over the withdrawal. And that's the issue. Somebody asked me on the other day, I've got a list of questions here, why I chose to quit drinking. The first couple of times I was feeling terrible. But the last time in 2014, I had to go drink because I was taken to hospital. Dill, did you ever go to the pub in the morning? Often. Sometimes we used to go often nights, actually. At 6 o'clock in the morning, or 6:30 in the morning. In East London, sometimes. It's madness. Mark, heavy drinking makes you nervous and stressed. Massive, massive anxious times and anxiety generally, yeah. And anxiety is a big, big problem. Hi, Samantha. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. We know all about anxiety, don't we, Samantha? Anxiety. It's a good word for something. It's not good at all. Mr. Dill, 6 in the morning, yeah. We used to do nights and you drink in the morning because you feel like it's your evening, if that makes sense. You think, well, you've been at work all night, and so you deserve a drink, Chris, it's known as euphoric recall. Your brain only recalls the good times rather than the pain associated with negative consequences. Yeah, it's good point, that. Euphoric recall. David Williams, definitely drink to feel better, but you wake up depressed. It's an awful situation. Yeah, depression sets in. It's horrendous. Well, it's a depressing drug, isn't it? That's the issue. Jace, keep up the great work, Steve. Thanks, Jace. So the hardest thing to do is the easiest way to sobriety. And that's to stop drinking. That's going to reform drinker. The pain of withdrawal is tiny compared to a new start in life. That's a good point. Yeah. Mind you, I think we both had seizures. So it's a little bit, that worried me a lot. The family get seizures. I couldn't never just stop. I did try. Mr. Dill, drink sets of anxiety and depression the day after. 100%. And when you get into that cycle of depression, drinking, and so on, it just gets worse and worse, doesn't it? Much worse. And you become reliant on the booze to take away the anxiety. And so it gets worse. It's a vicious cycle, isn't it? So the reason I stopped, because I had to. James Hastings, sorry for not meeting a few weeks back. Oh, don't worry, James. We'll catch up at some point. Just text me when you're ready. We've all been in situations where we can't make things, I mean, I couldn't even get the doctors. When I was back in the booze again, it wasn't good at all. Because it will take away all of your ability to do anything. Sometimes the depression is worse than the anxiety, and sometimes the anxiety is worse than depression. I think the two go hand in hand, don't they? Really, and you become desensitized and away from it all. Yes, it's a horrible cycle. So, drink to feel better, wake up, feel worse, anxious overthink, have a drink to get back to the good feeling and the confidence, repeat each day. Yeah, you drink to feel better, but in the end, when you get really ill, the drink doesn't do much at all. It just maybe stops you from feeling so bad, but you don't actually enjoy the drink. I didn't when I was back on it after 8 years off. I did for the first couple of days, and I thought, wow, I'm going to get in trouble again here. You know what's going to catch up with you, and you're going to be in a mess, and that's not good, is it? Um, Another question here: the hardest part of early sobriety. I think boredom for a lot of people is the hardest part, because you've got all that time to fill. You think how many hours you actually spend in the pub recovering from the booze. It's a lot of hours, isn't it? You spend just trying to fill your time. Unless you have got a specific hobby or some other interest or business to run or something, you're going to be stuck. And I would say 50, 60, maybe 70% of people will go back to the booze because of boredom in the early days. So I'd say that's the hardest part. I think Kaz mentioned last night about the sleeping as well. But I didn't have any problems with that, to be honest, because a lot of people have different sleeping patterns, and it depends on the body clock. But the early part of sobriety is definitely the fact that you may be, think what we're doing now. How can I survive without a drink? Because it's been your whole life, isn't it? So times of healer kicks in. False perspective of you wasn't as bad as you think. Yeah, you were feelings of missing out, believing your life is boring. Think you can moderate after brief sobriety. Totally right. Yeah, you think you can get back to moderation, but you can't. Moderation's finished, isn't it? Debbie, it's so sad. You sometimes think, how can I live without alcohol? Yeah, people do. I can't give up because what I'm going to do with my life is a cry out here. What will I do on a Saturday afternoon? What will I do on a Sunday lunchtime? That sort of thing. What should I do? When's my birthday? What will I do when, something happens? How do I relapse? How do I relax? All these thoughts, James, for me, those thoughts on a Thursday about a pint, I've introverted, Steve. It's never had social outlet. Understand, yeah. Some people do, but we're all different. People do it for different reasons, don't they? It's not about having a wild old time and singing karaoke. We've got different reasons to drink as well. So if you like, we benefit from the lives, and please drop a super chat in. Don't have to be a lot. Or buy me coffee links at the top there. The more people that support, the more I can do the channel and keep it moving along. Sending love and staying strong. Thanks, Debbie. Look after yourself. That's the main thing. You can't do that for anybody else unless you look after yourself first, as a message, really. And you can go well, you can't beat this, because many have. Still, running. I used to be when I was younger. I still go to the gym, though. Do a little bit. Did a lot of walking when we were in Turkey last week, so it's just a question of keeping active, really. 29 in 2 weeks on a fresh start. Understand, Jim, you're still very young. You deserve a fresh start, and I'll do my best to get you off the booze. It's not just getting off it; it's staying off it, isn't it? That's the thing. David Lewis, I've nearly finished a bottle of wine tonight. David, well, if you, I don't know how long you've been sober, but if you've been sober, a bottle of wine isn't going to kill you as long as you don't have it every night. Text me that number, Dave, and I'll get back to you. If you're outside the UK, it's +44, obviously. Mr. Dale, running is good for the natural high. 100%. Definitely running, if you can, still run. I haven't run for a while. I could push myself, I suppose. Tomorrow, half a bottle, David, yeah. Try and cut down a bit, I suppose. David, it depends what you're drinking generally. It's what does the damage is drinking regularly. Your body not getting a rest control, That's the real killer, to be honest with you. James, it's massive. Weekend bender for me is 20 cans of 350 ml vodka. Yeah, I see where you're coming from, James. Yeah, you've got to cut that down because it will catch up with you. It may not 29, but I think with me, the anxiety kicked in pretty early in life, really. Maybe late 20s, maybe early 30s. Anxiety was a problem for me. Daniel Latrell, thanks so much for that donation. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Daniel. I've cut back my drinking significantly from twice a week to once a week to now twice a month. I've had 5 pints of light beer. I still feel that's brilliant, Daniel. Well done. That you've really cracked it there. If you can keep it under control like that, fantastic. Thanks so much, Daniel. I appreciate that super chat. If anybody else wants to support the channel, please do. It's greatly appreciated and keeps the channel at the front of the queue, basically, which is where we need to be, isn't it? David, I drinking about 3 cans of a bottle of wine a night. It's too much, Dave. It's regularly. If you're taking that much regular, Dave 48. Time to stop, isn't it? Thanks again, Daniel, from sub. Yes, David. If it's regular, that's where the damage is done, unfortunately. It was my history when I stopped drinking after I had a drive car accident and it nearly cost me my life. Well, there you go. It's a fantastic reason to give up, isn't it? You've got to look at your scared, but well done, Joe. Sub, Marina, drinking at home alone. I was in my own little world where my imagination could run wild, delusional thoughts. It could be somebody else, someone else. Yeah, very true. David Lewis, thanks, David. You're welcome, David. Primus Pilus, it was still you. So yeah, basically, no matter what age you are, you've got to try and cut it down. Because, like I said earlier, I met this guy I used to know. Then you mentioned the drinking days he had. I mentioned the drinking days I had. And there were some good times, otherwise we wouldn't have done it. But everything in moderation, as I say now. And I wish I'd taken that on board when I was younger. But it's too late now. But like I said before, you can't turn the clock back up. Sorry, turn the clock back. You can certainly wind it up again. You need to wind it up again, don't you? David, Steve, do you have like a group coaching thing where the others in the same boat? Yeah, I've got a WhatsApp group. I'll give you the number for that. Well, just text me on the other number. If you text me on this number, I'll give you all the details about the WhatsApp group. Just anybody needs any assistance at all, just use this number mainly. I've got another number, but I haven't used it very much. Yes, when does appetite return? I still have very little appetite. It's an individual thing that I hadn't eaten for a long time, and it was very ill, so it took me a while. But once it came back, and I could eat for England, But I would say, looking back on the times where I stopped with medication, probably about 3 or 4 days after stopping, you feel a bit more hungry. Because you lose your taste, but you lose any interest in eating when you're drinking, don't you? You're only doing this top of drinking all the time. Southeast, I'm 7 weeks of the alcohol drunk every day for nearly 25 years. I've coffee now. I feel like a pint. That's brilliant. Southeast, you've cracked it there. You've got it under control, which is amazing, really. 7 weeks off, keep going. You've cracked the hardest part, really, to be honest with you. Southeast, well done, yeah. It's good, isn't it, Stoic, yeah? John Doe, hi, Steve. Nice to see you, John. How are you? Daniel, thanks again for the super chat. I'm just going to read you. Worst part is sometimes when I drink it goes perfect, other times it goes horrible. I tell myself I got a handle on it, which is objectively true. Yeah, but thanks for the donation again, Daniel. The thing is, you haven't really got a handle on it. Your mind's tricking you into thinking you've got a handle on it. You're going to go down and down very, very quickly. So you've got to really put the brakes on it. If you have a look at the link in the description on the videos, you'll see my number there, and there's a link to one-to-one help. Samantha, well done. Southeast, keep going. Yeah, keep strong, Southeast. You can crack it. That's all you got to do is think you've got over the worst, you see. The first few days is the worst. Lilith, hi, Steve, mate. Hi, Lilith. Hope you're well. John Doyden, brother. That's 3 moderators together there. That's good. Beef and chicken's missing. So I gave up drinking for 9 years. In that time, I got a new partner, bought a house and started a small marine salvage company. I fell off the wagon for a year and nearly lost it all. That was 15 years ago. It doesn't take long, does it, to lose it? So again, back to Daniel's message there. Worst part of something is when I drink, it goes perfect. Other times, it goes horrible. That's the problem. It's so unpredictable, isn't it? It's so unpredictable. Yeah, double thank you, Daniel. You've got to be very careful with this. I mentioned last night, it's something which needs to be taken much more seriously by us, by the medics, by the authorities. But it won't be, because it's all controlled by money. And that's the way life is, unfortunately. We're not going to change that. What we can do is keep ourselves on the correct path and help others. That's what we can do. And that's what we're aiming to do. That's what we're doing here. John, keep strong, brother. Did you go to A? I never went to A, but sorry, I did go twice, but I didn't get anything out of it. I went twice in 1 week, and it didn't do much for me. Double thank you. Keep strong, brother. Do go to because of the tax on alcohol. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, 100%. David, Leslie just mentioned there, the tax on alcohol. David, do you have resource? I know it must be too much. It's been a lot of resource. Don't mean that. If you text me, David, we'll answer this question if you don't mind. That's really good. Psychologist? No, I'm not a psychologist. So John, I used to go to A, but had to find my own way in the end. I've always been a bit of a loner. Yeah, the 100% the tax. That's why there's the thing is that you got to remember that these breweries, these manufacturers of this, make a lot of cash, and obviously the government receives some tax as well. So it's never going to be banned. And it'll just be on and on. What we can't do is let ourselves slide, because that's what happens. Forget about the bigger picture here. Think about yourself, and that's why I did this little video today. You have to believe in yourself to do this. No one can help you. They say there's all these support networks. The only help that you can get, I think, that's useful is medication. And if you can get that, you're a winner, because that will make it easier for you to come off it. And that's what you want to do: come off it, get healthy, and get fit again. Because that's all that's all we're here for, isn't it? Get our health back. Right, this is another question. A good one, this one. How do I stay motivated not to drink? What's your story? Because I was motivated for years not to drink. I fell into some strange situations, but my motivation to drink now is I know I'm going to die. It sounds a bit extreme, but it's very true. What's your motivation not to drink is a good question. All my friends drink, David. That is an issue. Well, you just got to try and distance yourself from your friends, if that makes sense, Dave. Because they'll be able to drink and you can't, so they'll leave you in the mess, really. Unfortunately, Daniel, thank you, Steve. I'm just upset because I can do a month sober standing on my head. I tell myself I'm not an alcoholic. I always go back, and the guilt and the anxiety is not worth it. It's very true. Text me on my number. Daniel, we'll try and get you off. I'll keep on this number up here because you need to come off it. I know you have a long period off, but you go back on again. Every time you relapse, it's going to get worse with time. John Doe, that's why I'm surprised some drugs haven't been legalized. The government would love the tax revenue. They just don't about that. I think cannabis will be very soon, to be honest. It's hard to have a couple of sons. How do you say do it? It's very difficult, isn't it? Daniel, I'm only 25, so I tell myself I have time. It's gotten better. There's a massive amount of hope for you, Daniel. Focus on that. Focus on the fact you're young and you get fit again. And you can do it. So, David Lewis, I used to think like that. Now I know that anything I lose by putting my recovery first was never meant to stay. Yeah, it's a good point. David, is cannabis better than drink? I've never tried cannabis, but I've heard that from a policing point of view, there were never many public order incidents driven by cannabis. They're all alcohol. So I'm not really sure what the medics would say about that. I went from 50 beers a month to 12. I just might as well stop a bit. Well, that's a massive cut down, isn't it? I mean, 12 isn't going to kill you, but if you know you've got problems with it, then it's best to have zero. And the sooner you get to zero, the better, isn't it? In my opinion. It's about ethanol alcohol. This produced by the grain of potatoes. grain or potatoes. It must be the easiest, cheapest legal drug to produce for the highest markup. Yeah, massive, isn't it? Absolutely massive. Even when we were in Turkey last week, it was hard to get non-alcoholic drinks. There's so few non-alcoholic drinks. I did a little video at the airport last week, and there was only one type of non-alcoholic drink. Absolutely crazy. One type. So your motivation to keep sober and not to drink is your health, isn't it? Got to be. And also your finances. And, you have to be very progressive with this and make sure that you're switching all the time. You can't let it go. You can't let it slip. I just have one. I just have to have two. It's not going to work for you. What surprised me most about sobriety? Nothing really. The problem, it's brilliant. And you get your life back quite quickly because your body will fight for you, if you allow it to. And my biggest problem I think I had was this anxiety. Once the anxiety's gone, you can start to live a bit better. You can be open about things. You can deal with problems. Because everyone's got problems, haven't they, in life? But if you're off the booze, everything seems clearer. You've got this mental clarity, which allows you to move on quite quickly. If your brain's good, your body will follow, won't it? That's the thing. You have to keep positive. You have to keep going. And that's the main message, isn't it? You've got to keep going, and you've got to look after yourself. David, I was wondering, are you on WhatsApp? Well, there's a number here. There's a WhatsApp group here, If you want to have a look at that, text me this number again. I shall send you the link. Most people are on WhatsApp now, aren't they? It's a good way of communication. I'm just having a look at some more questions here. Right, somebody asked what alcohol really does to the brain. Well, alcohol to my brain, it just gives me anxiety, to be honest. I know there's a lot of technical parts of what it does and what it doesn't do, but it's a depressant drug, isn't it? So you've got to be selfish to recover and keep the closest people to you to gain sobriety. Definitely. You can't be pressurised into drinking again by people you used to know on the boozer. That's no good. You have to focus on what you want in the future. And do you want to live longer? Do you want to have a more successful life? Do you want to have some good quality of life? Because a lot of people who will keep drinking in their 40s and 50s, who I've seen and know some of them end up in these wheelchair things and mobility scores. They drink, they smoke, they eat the wrong food, they don't have any exercise. They're losing the money, they're losing the houses, the jobs, the whole lot, There's you have to find other coping mechanisms, 100%. Yeah, find other things to do, other things to focus on, and you will find that you'll meet different people as well. Or the people that you talk to will be similar. Especially if you go to the gym. Even if you don't do much in the gym, go to the gym. Meet some healthy people. And there is that saying, isn't it? If you meet a group of 4 fat people, you'll be the 5th. And so on. A group of 4 losers, you'll be the 5th. Well, that's true or not, I don't know, but there's certainly an element of rising above things and being better if you mix with different folk, as it were. I wouldn't say bad people, but you know what I'm saying. Well, I was sober 16 days. I drank 9 years. It was sober. I drank 9 years. It was sober. Not another 14 days. Drink 5 beer. I've not been black drunk. But drunk in 7 months. So it sounds like if you get a little bit better, a bit more control of it. But if you can get control of it, try and keep off it. That's the key, isn't it? George, my mum asked me if I feel more anxious about about going into bars and clubs since not having a drink in 2 years. I said it's far more anxious for people who are drinking. Good point. I wouldn't want to go into boozers at night or anything like that anymore. I probably in for the odd afternoon, getting zero, and that's about it really. Or we go for meals, that sort of thing. But anxiety is a terrible thing. Daniel, I know if it's coming if I don't. Or not being able to remember what you're doing is terrifying. Yeah, you've got to really focus on cutting down or staying in control, Daniel, because you can do it. You can do it. Lewis knows there are a lot of sound listeners listening to me. Thanks, Lewis. Appreciate that. I hope so. If anybody wants to support the channel by dropping a super chat in, please do. And also the Buy Me a Coffee link at the top there. The more people support, The more can do this, and the bigger we'll get, and the better we'll get. Become more slick, won't we? So, Leslie, it's amazing how much time you have in your hands when you stop drinking. They're giving up a job and having free time. Guess you've got to find something worthwhile. 100%. You have to do something else. Leslie, I'm thinking of adopting another dog at the moment. And stalking dog walkers to ask questions. Good idea. Down 9 beers. Daniel, you'll be fine. Just cut down slowly and you can stop. Stoic X tomorrow, 100%. David Lewis, I haven't seen my mates for over 2 years because they won't do anything that doesn't involve alcohol. I let them go and make real friends. That's it. You make a different set of friends, don't you? The drinkers aren't really friends. Just Mr. said there, my girlfriend called them bar rat friends. Exactly. So, yeah. Terry Mack, I hung out with 4 rocket scientists. I did not become the 5th. Welcome back, Terry. Nice to see you. Because you didn't try, Terry. Joseph Green, hi Steve. I gave up nearly 2 years ago in December. I relapsed for 2 weeks during Christmas and felt really ill. Stopped again New Year and been clean until now, feeling good after years in the booth. Fantastic, Joseph. Well done. That's the thing. If you do relapse, as Joseph did, get back on the sober trail as quick as you can. So, very proper friends who would probably help you out in a crisis, and like drinking buddies who would only help you in the pub. You get a lot of drinking buddies when you've got a credit card. That's all I'm saying. And then they soon leave you if you turn another lemon soda. Frank, I'm against you. I hate it. Okay, Frank, please get in touch and we'll sort you out. Because you can't get off this. I was drunk for years. Well, 4.5 years, between 2014 to 5 years, 2014, 2019. I didn't enjoy the drink at all. There's a year, well done, Joseph, 100%. Well done. And everyone who's trying, at least you're doing well, even just getting on here. It's the first step. I never thought about anything like this when I was drinking, when I was in a mess. And even coming out here and opening up very safe spaces, it's good to get this out and tell your story. And a lot of it's very personal stuff. There's been some horrendous stories over the last, how long have we been doing this? About 10 weeks maybe? But built a really, really good following here. Let's see, Jolie. Thanks, Liz. Okay. Joe, you can do it. So, Joseph's well done. It's almost a mandate to fall off the wagon. There's one time, another keeps strong. I agree, Simona. We're all going to fall off the wagon, all of us. Jamie Dodger. Wow, thanks, Jamie. Fantastic donation. Steve, thanks again for the ongoing support. The time you take to keep encouraging and helping others to be honest with ourselves and get free of the demon. That's our goal. Thanks, Jamie. That's fantastic donation. Nice to see you again here. It's amazing. That's I'll just read that again. Steve, thanks again for the ongoing support. The time you take to keep encouraging and helping others to be honest with ourselves and get free of the demon. It's a good message that as well. Thanks so much, Jamie. Thanks again. Cheers. It makes a big difference. The more support we get, the more we can do, and the more people will save. Because people do die every day of this. Every day in the UK. People are dying, and it's got worse over the last few years. And there's not many people doing it. I don't think there's not many girls just lives, not regularly. But I think this is the best way to get some accountability, get some real life dynamics here, because going to the doctors every 2 weeks doesn't really do a lot on a 10-minute slot. How are you feeling, Mr. Johnson? I'm all right, thank you. I'm still drinking too much. Waste of fine time. Leslie, you take the biscuit, Johnny. Nice one, Johnny Dodger. Fantastic. John Doe, sometimes friends are not very understanding and don't give a toss about sobriety. That's when they're no longer friends. I had people like that around me for a few years ago. And me, most of the people I used to drink with don't even speak to me now. And I don't care. I've got good people like yourself to speak to. I've got a wonderful partner and my life's pretty good. Pretty good. When I was drinking, my life was stagnant. I mentioned that again. Stagnant. You don't go anywhere when you're drinking. In your head, you don't go anywhere. You don't travel anywhere, do you? You can't get on a plane, a train, a hot air balloon. You don't do anything. You're just stuck in one big rut. It's hard to get out of it. But once you start climbing out of it, you feel stronger and stronger, and eventually get out of it. And that's when you see the light of the day. You see some light at the end of the tunnel, and you pull through, and then you become stronger. And you start to realize alcohol has caused 99% of your problems in life, or it's been around at that sort of point in time, So these, thanks, John, for that coffee. Really appreciate that. Makes a big difference as you know the channel, and the more we can, more people we get to support, the more we can do, and we're doing a lot of videos as well, and a lot more lives to come, and we've got some other ideas as well. Thanks, John, for that. So things, every time I've ever been in trouble with the law or any trouble, I was drunk. Never once something happened when I was sober. 100% so. That's why I said, the difference between maybe cannabis, which is illegal, and alcohol, which is legal. I can't recall many incidents of public order or any other crime, to be honest, where cannabis has been the main driver. Alcohol's always been the main thing that's caused it. So I just deal with Christmas not too far away. There's a danger many of us relapse. Yeah, it's a dangerous time for me as the pressure to drink is much worse. Understand? Yeah, that's how you're coming from, Johnny. The thing is, to get over this period, especially, this is what I think about the winter. The winter time, when it's dark early, that's when people think, oh, I'll just have a drink. Past the time. I mean, I don't even watch TV, but there's not much on TV, is it, for people? And you think, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, just have a drink. Lots of people relapse in the winter. Then that rolls into Christmas, and it just goes on like that. It's crackers. Daniel, thanks again for that. If you that donation, really appreciate it, Daniel. But we'll get you well, don't worry. If you add up all the months I've stopped drinking, not conclusively, it adds up to 3 years, and I have been drinking for 8, but I always go back. This is a problem, Daniel. No, don't leave us alone, Daniel. Keep chatting, and make sure you contact me on that number, yeah? I'll give it again, because we're going to get some help here. People need help with this. There's not enough help out there, is there? Daniel, that's the number again. Just text me on that. No, I'll speak to you on the quiet. Well, not the quiet, but you know what I mean. Always, don't leave us alone. Just stay where we are. Just keep listening. You're welcome. Daniel, thank you again. Can you lend me for Exeter? Exactly. The thing is that everyone needs help, and there's not enough out there. I don't think, anyway. Like I said, who else is doing this? Nobody else. Some people find the AA useful, but in my situation, it didn't really work. I had no real support. But I don't think it comes down to that, I think it comes down to yourself. Once you get sober, I've always been quite strong in my mind, I think. I mean, I've got support now, and my life's much, much better now. But when you're in that phase of coming out of it, shall I drink again? That's down to you, isn't it? Only you can decide whether or not you're going to drink again. And if you do, and you're a bit older, say, or your body's a bit more mashed up because of it, then you're in a very dangerous situation. So thanks for reading all the comments out. It really helps us share. Thanks, Samara. No problem at all. I've got I don't need glasses, but I got these reading things. I went to the optician. She said, get a cheap pair from Savers or something. But it's 2 magnifications. It's easier to see it. Thanks for. I think it's important to people recognised for putting the comment on. Thanks so much. I appreciate all of you, everyone's support, especially the moderators as well. They'll do a good job. A few people missing. Hope they're okay. I think we know who they are, but it's nice to see the new people as well. And the aim is to get people sorted, isn't it? Oh, this is a good question. I mentioned in the videos, there's 1,500 videos now about anxiety. How it affected me. I think looking back, it's hard to remember a specific time, but I think back to my late 20s when I used to go on the underground. I never felt anxious at work, at my job, but certain situations I felt anxious. Flying, something's on the underground, and the train gets, partially stuck in the tunnel. And I felt, wow, I've had a lot to drink last night. I felt a bit anxious, but I never felt anxious when I had a little bit of drink, but I always had something to drink, if that makes sense. So the heavier days on the booze, anxiety was much higher. Don't go anywhere, mate. You're in the right place. You speak as much as you need to. You're doing the right thing. The more you put into recovery, the more you get out of it. 100%. Yeah, thanks, Stoic, for that. We have to be open. I wish I'd been more open about it when I was younger. I really do. Dennis, when your friends see you down or going through a tough time, and there are days of helpers coming on and we'll go for a drink and I'll cheer you up. You're right there, Dennis. People haven't got a clue. They need people who know what it's like to have alcohol issues or people who've got alcohol issues. Simple as that. Joseph Green, a lot of men live with anxiety, but they do nothing about it. It's not the man thing to do. You could be right. Yeah. I must admit, mine wasn't there until I drank. But I do agree, Joseph, lots of men have anxiety. That's why the male suicide rate sadly, is higher than the female, isn't it? And the suicide rate isn't getting much higher. I read an article today in the Telegraph about the recession. There's going to be steep recession. That's another thing that people are anxious about. They'll hit the bottle. Less people will be going to work. More people will be working from home or will be jobless. That's going to lead them to hit the bottle. Lots of problems coming. You need to get sober, get strong to fight what's coming along. It sounds a bit of a bad situation, but that's reality. Evening, Steve. Been a while. Nice to see you. I needed Steve to open the community. Just give me some strength. Cheers, Eddie. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing okay. I said there's people from all sorts of levels of alcoholism on here. Some people have been off for years, some people have been off for days, some people for hours, some people are still drinking. It doesn't matter. We're all after one goal. The end game really is to get everybody off and get healthy. Thanks so much to endorse that, yeah. Yeah, a lot of men don't seek help. You've got to go to the doctors and face reality, I suppose. This is how I feel. But a lot of men don't. Like I said, I didn't have any major problems. I didn't go to the doctors about certain things, drink related really. But when I went, I was told what I thought I'd be told. Cut down, but I didn't want to cut down. But certainly anxiety causes issues. In men, it can cause issues in families and all this sort of thing. Women are much better at exposing things in a way and talking about it and being a bit more sensible. Men tend to hide away a little bit, which is another subject entirely, really, isn't it? But anxiety with me was sky high when I drank. As soon as I stopped, it was gone. Simple as that. Incredibly quick. It didn't take long at all for the anxiety to just disappear. And now I don't have any. Well, some. My partner shouts at me. But other than that, nothing at all. The main thing is to focus on yourself. Especially in the early days of sobriety, what you want to achieve, the level of health you want to get to. And there's quite easy ways to do that once you're off it. Once you're off it, it's all in the brain, then it's on the head. Just don't go crazy. Don't start running marathons. Just go a little bit of a walk. Maybe join the gym to meet some of the healthy people. Mix with other people who will be in the same situation. Do some research. And, keep positive is the main thing. People are getting vulnerable. Getting vulnerable as weakness. Of course they do. Yeah, but getting vulnerable is how we grow. It's not a weakness, it's a strength. We're constantly learning every day. The opposite of addiction is connection. 100%. Yeah, I remember doing that little clip about the rats in the cage where, they're given a bit of a lonely life, really, that turned the substance. I can't remember what was in the bottle. But when they were connected, it made a big difference. But I don't think everybody needs a big group of people. But it is good to have support. And you can be strong. But yeah, you've got You've got to be honest with the doctors as well and tell them what you're drinking and tell them how you feel. Tell them if you're depressed. They're not there to judge you. They're there to treat you. And as I mentioned before, if you drink 20 pints, tell them you drink 20 pints because they can't diagnose you unless they know what you're drinking. If you benefit from the channel, then please drop a super chat in. A few people have done already, which is brilliant. Thank you very much for that. And also the coffee links pinned at the top, which is another way to support the channel. Toasties Van Build, we don't know you, but I'm halfway through your video from yesterday on my TV to message you on my phone. Then your live has popped up. Really, I struggle with driving after a heavy weekend. Yeah, you do. I had that as well, especially on motorways. Toasty, I don't know if you find that. It's anxiety again, that, you know. That camper van thing. Yeah, you're right there. Nightmare, isn't it? Joseph, I worked on cruise ships. Don't know how I got out one piece. Well, I can imagine the atmosphere there is booze, 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 isn't it? 100%. Toasty Van Build, it's unbearable driving after a drink the next day. Oh, the camper van story. Unreal. There's a few more videos on that if you search through them. I've just completed my first 10 days without alcohol for the first time. Yeah, well done, Toasty. That's amazing. Hope you're feeling better now. The first few days is a nightmare, isn't it? Yeah, why is it most motorways? What happens on motorways? I used to get so anxious, but I was okay on the minor roads. But I always thought it was just me. You always think that, don't you? But actually speaking to people, quite a lot of people have had problems on the motorway. It's the fear of not being able to get off in case something's going to happen. But what's going to happen to you? When you think about it, what's going to happen to you? Jimmy Toasties Van Bull, keep going, mate. The first 2 weeks are the hardest. Yeah, well said, Johnny. Joseph Green, something about the sea makes you drink really hard. Merchant Navy, all rigs, Royal Navy. Yeah, same sort of thing, isn't it? It's just a group of people, isn't it? People say about the police drunk a lot, just because of a group of people. Firemen as well. Nurses, doctors, we all drink too much. Just for this chat making us want to have a coffee, Joseph. That's better for you than tea for the liver, apparently. John, do I call the Samaritans a while ago because I was feeling rock bottom? I was completely let down by them. Anyone else had any experience with them? That's a good question. Anybody else had any experience with Samaritans? I never ran them, but I expect a few people would have done. I used to just listen to the radio, you know, a bit of therapy, drink my cans. Toasties, because I had a shitty old van and I know the brakes crap won't stop. Well, that's a good reason to be nervous, isn't it? If you're not going to stop. But no matter what you're driving, if you're drinking, then it's a problem. You know, I don't mean drinking and driving. I mean, even a few days after we've had a heavy session, the driving is a nightmare. Jerry John Doe, yeah, but they just listen and tell you anything you do is your own decision. Not really very helpful. Yeah, 100%. Albert Milton, hello Albert, how are you? Toasties, you're a legend. I'm 6 months now. It gets better and better, pal. Well done. Good stuff. A lot of positivity tonight, which is brilliant. And as I said many times before, as we get towards even darker nights, colder, wetter nights, then there'll be a lot more people here. We've got a lot of work to do. Us as a group, I mean. Daniel, thank you, Steve. I have texted you from. Okay, Daniel, thanks for that. I'll speak to you later on at some point and give some help. So yeah, dark nights, Christmas, all these things are coming up. But that's why we've got to get sober now. If you're sober, you can face Christmas. I mean, the last few Christmases have been fantastic for me. Been able to drive, go from here with my daughter who's been up from Manchester, and see my mother and all this sort of thing. Really good. Christmases when I was drinking were a total and it was a nightmare. I used to worry for weeks about Christmas. How I was going to be thought of, how I would act. Some of the Samaritans were poor for me too. I was hardly in touch getting angry though, so I wouldn't just take my word for it. That's the extra I think I've ever rang the Samaritans. Thankfully, I haven't had reason to. I only got really down once with this whole alcohol issue. Was when I was in and out of hospital. I didn't seem to get any better. But I got over that. Daniel, thank you. No rush. I'm doing pretty okay, but we could use some advice. Okay, Daniel, that's fine. I'll give you some advice. Get you sorted. It's interesting that you can stop and start. I could never stop and start. I could never stop until I got medication in my early 40s and beyond, And then suddenly there was no medication available, and that was the problem. And it wasn't a good place to be fair. Um, Anybody else had any alcohol sort of memory loss blackouts? I used to get a few memory loss times. I have a few memory loss times. I remember waking up in Epping Forest a couple of times. 6 o'clock in the morning. Obviously, got on the last underground train, got about 1 o'clock in Epping, and then just wandered through the forest and fallen over. I just gone to sleep in the forest. But I never blacked out other than that as far as I'm aware until I tried to stop when I had seizures. But I know a lot of people do black out, and some people even have the DTs. We discussed that before. Has anybody else had the DTs? I didn't experience them, thankfully, but I didn't sleep very well when I was drinking heavily. I was always tossing and turning and sweating and, just not feeling relaxed. That's another big bonus when you're off the booze. If you can relax without the drink, then you really have done very, very well, because it's not a good place to be. Not be able to relax. You're drinking all the time just to try and feel better, aren't you? That's the problem. Some of my mate used to work for the Samaritans. He rang in sick one night and couldn't work that night, but luckily they eventually talked him in around. He went back to work. Class. Frank, 7:30. I have a friend that's coming, and we are going to A in my hometown. And lucky my door, so I can go to unlock my door. Well done, Frank. Where are you based, Frank? It's not Finland or something. I can't remember now. Good luck at the A. There are meetings everywhere. I was very surprised. I went to 2 A meetings many, many years ago. And when I looked upon the schedule, I thought, God, there's A meetings everywhere, isn't there? They're all over the place, It's quite bizarre, really, to be fair. Well, how come there's so many A places? Every day, no matter where you are, it's an A meeting. I think the only thing, one of the main things that put me off the A was this. I got a message today from somebody as well who said, you need to focus on the higher power that's going to help you. And I believe it's all about the higher power. So it's a bit too much for my brain. So we don't rise to the standards we have when others are watching. We fall to the standards we have when no one is watching. Good point. The work that really matters is the work that no one sees. Yeah, it's in your head, isn't it? It's all in your head. No one's going to ever see that, apart from you. A bit of DTs once horrendous, like you're living the worst nightmare imaginable. Okay, Peter. What stage did you get them? Because I was pretty knackered with booze. I mean, physically, mentally, pretty much gone, really. But I can't say I had the DTs. I had seizures a couple of times, but I didn't have the DTs. And that's, I think the Samara was saying that a lot of people can die from DTs. But it's brain damage or what, I don't know, but it's horrendous. Toasties, no DTs, but sleep bad. Yeah, that was me. The last girlfriend, did she drink my new one? Because she has never liked it, so I'm hoping she will off me. I was single for a long time when I was drinking heavily, to be honest. But my partner at the moment doesn't drink very much. But it wouldn't bother me. It doesn't bother me if she has the odd glass of wine, it's not a problem. Bit hard liquor, not beer. Tracy, how you doing, Tracy? I haven't seen you for ages. Yeah, you well. I actually watched an article last night about the worst thing for your liver is not beer and wine, it's this hard liquor, the really high percentage stuff. Because I was always under the impression that everything had ethanol in it. Lagers, Guinness, the whole lot. Wine, cider, and obviously spirits. But the hard liquor is the worst one, obviously. Hope you're well, Tracy. Good to see you. John, I've never tried A. I said I only went twice many years ago. It didn't do enough for me. A few people were talking about their life experience. And then there was all this about higher power in 12 steps, which I didn't really know anything about. So, have any of you ever felt like coming out of your body or nearly falling asleep when your breathing stops and you jump? It's been happening to me since I'm off the car. Well, someone said it could be psychosis. I've had similar things where I sort of think I'm going to fall off a curb, but that's not really anything to do with drinking. Psychosis, I don't know much about that, but interesting. If anybody have a look at Southeast Post there, make some comment on that. I can't really relate to that about the psychosis thing. I think it's just your body reaction to not having the drink in your system, maybe. So, Marina, nobody wants full-blown DTs. Never go cold turkey if you're drinking around the clock. Yeah, 100%. 37 people die of DTs. Wow, incredible that, without hospital intervention. Leslie, accepting that others around you can drink if the wish means you are well into recovery. Oh, of course, yeah. It's not. Everyone's different. I didn't have any sort of real compulsion, real craving to do it. Just thought, well, I'll have another one. Well, I'll try again. That's that sort of thing, you know what I mean? Frank Stein, I have a lot of AA friends. Why I'm still drunk? Why am I still drunk? Because it's personal choice, Frank, really, isn't it? Maybe push it a bit more. Be strong, if you can. But you're doing well, get the AA. You're doing well being on here. So me and my wife went to child bereavement counselling today. She broke down. I was present to comfort her. I'll always be grateful to my recovery for giving me myself back. There for her. That's a nice message, Stoic. Very good. It does allow you to be reliable and present, as you say. Go on, Jesse. Hi, Steve. I had the DTs before I had the 2 seizures. I had to think it was because I was on the vodka heavily. Thanks for that, Gordon. I never drank spirits, fortunately, but I still drank a lot. Too much, as you can tell. That's why I'm here, doing this. Dan, you literally can't believe what you're seeing with bad DTs. It's so vivid. Wow. If you benefit from these lives, please do hit the super chat button to donate, or there's a coffee link at the top. The more people support the channel, the more can do with the channel, the bigger and better we'll become, and the stronger we'll become, and as a group we'll become top dogs, and we know what we're doing, where we're going, and we'll be sober. DT sounds horrendous. Warjack, trying to get my brother off the drink. He lost everything. He's currently on 4% alcohol, but I've been told it's okay to go cold turkey in that low percent. I'm not sure, Jackie, on that one. I would certainly speak to the doctor about that. If you've got a long history of drinking, then it's very dangerous to stop. As it happened to me, I stopped and had seizures, and he passed away. So you've got to be very careful. That was 20 odd years ago. Seizures are not good. Get some help on that one, Jackie. Yes, I've had my body jump in bed. It only happened in withdrawal. Right? Sounds pretty bad. Peter A is not for me. So you're not the best for me. It's so religious. I agree. So well done, Stoic. You probably wouldn't be together if you were still drinking. Exactly. Gordon, JC, I'm doing AA now. Gotta admit, AA is the only thing that's kept me reasonably sober after thinking. Good, JC. That's good news. Well done, Gordon. Gordon, JC. Jamie, I used to get the night sweats big time, soaked through the bed, former DTs, I think. Not had them since I've been sober. Fantastic news, Gordon, but I don't still really understand. It's a very, very complicated thing, this alcohol thing. The biggest thing is to just get sober now. I had the DTs from heavy use of whiskey and vodka, very scary. Wow, sounds horrendous. Gordon, but it's keeping me sort of sober for the best part of 38 years. That's good. Tom, do you shake in the morning? I did when I was drinking, 2014. Well, actually 2018, 2019. Well, 2014 when I started again. Good for you, Gordon. Well done. Tracy, I drink a lot, but I'm not an alcoholic. Home cooked food plays a huge part in my life, but I'm trying to lose weight at the moment. I need to stop drinking in a week. It sounds like you've got a bit of a control on there. Just keep pushing, keep strong, and you get off it. You really can. Kimball Burt, hi Steve. I was binge drinking on too many occasions over the past few years. Your videos have been highly motivational, and I've been off the booze for a month now. Well done. That's good news. Tom, you're sober for 6 years. Yeah, sober 6 years now. I was sober 2006 to 2014. It was 8 years. Drank between 2014 and 2019, and then I haven't had a drink since then. So that's another 6 years. So I'm now sober, confident, and my plan is never to drink again. No chance we'll ever drink again. Andy said, yes, can relate to that whiskey. Unfortunately, I never drank spirits, but I drank far too much premium lager. It still did a lot of damage. Paul, hello, Steve. Good to see you. Hi, Paul. Hope you're well. Tom, so when was the relapse? The relapse was summer of 2014, which lasted until 2019, when I got taken to hospital and I was seriously ill then. Wasn't good. Was not good. Really bad. Paul Pennington ended up in hospital, no drink for 13 days, feeling better already on the long road. Well done, Paul. Keep pushing. It can be done. Once you get over a certain bit, I'm talking about years here, it's easy for me to say. The more you're off it, the more years you're off it, the better chance of staying sober for life. That's the key. Definitely, I was on the verge of losing everything until I found AVRT. Yeah, I mean, I fortunately had some income, but if I hadn't had an income, then I probably would have. You wouldn't be seeing me tonight. So I didn't have that financial pressure, but I had other pressures. We've all got things to work out. Tom, didn't you have a drink recently? No, Tom, not me. I can't drink again. To be fair, I've been on and off it so many times, and I was really ill in 2019. So for me to have a drink would be a death sentence, really. I certainly wouldn't be here doing this. I'd be in the pub, and I was terrible when I relapsed. I relapsed about 4 times, and each one got worse. Gordon, I started watching your videos 6 months ago. Your videos are fantastic. Thanks, Gordon. You helped me while I was in the dry house. Please, Gordon. Tom, one, I thought I heard you say relapsed very. No. I relapsed 2019. And 2014 2019. So the last drink I had was October 2019. So it'll be coming to 6 years. Yeah. No, I haven't relapsed recently. I've never had any. I was so ill in 2019, I've never had a thought of having a drink, really, to be honest. I would never want to go through what I went through. I spent 2.5 years in hospital. Mainly in hospital, in and out, but mainly in. And I was in a wheelchair, all sorts of kind. Went out 9 stone. Terrible. Leslie, Tom, did you comment on Rick's channel? What are you struggling with? Tom, I'm not struggling with anything. Nothing at all. Just been on holiday with my partner. Had a great time. Life's sweet as enough. So I've never bad mouth other recovery problems. If something isn't working for you, try something else. 4 years of AA, NA, and CA didn't prevent me from being a real relapse. 2 years, 4 months free. Good news story. Keep strong. We'll say every day. It's a message. Tom, check out Steve's videos. He explains all about his drink plus. Good pint sub, yeah. It's all in there. That's all in the videos. Tom, the title is Struggling After Relapse. I'm just trying to understand. It was Struggling After a Relapse in 2014. It was when I relapsed. So I had this period of sobriety, 2006, 2014. It's all in there as a subset. It's in the videos. But yeah, 6 years sober, it's good. So I intend to be sober the rest of my life now, thankfully. And hopefully. Hi, Tom. I think you just misunderstood the title. Yeah, thanks, Leslie. Cheers for that. Tomorrow is Saturday, so sports day, isn't it? A lot of people. Got to get off the booze. Got to keep strong. There's about 60, 70 people and been really good. If you benefit from these videos and the likes and the lives, please drop a super chat or hit the buy me a coffee button at the top. There's no monetization on these because it flows quite well. And I still don't think anybody else is doing this in the UK. So we're getting quite a lot of good comments. Rugby, oh yeah, it is, yeah, rugby day tomorrow. Southeast, yes, it's still the title. It's the title, Tom, and we are talking about if you relapse. Cheers, Southeast. Yeah, if you relapse, my point is you've got to get off it as soon as you can. How did I misunderstand? That's what it says. It means relapse in 2014, I think. For that saying. However, everything's hunky-dory now. As it has been for 6 years. Mine it took a couple of years to get well again. I was so thin, God, deconditioned. I had to have double rations for ages, and I started eating more. Just to try and put some muscle on, Because when you're drinking to that degree that I was, you don't eat anything. But you just eat the rubbish, really, You just pick at crisps and bits of cheese and the odd pizza, and it's horrible. Don't worry, Tom, it's fine. Where the hell's Bertie Bassett? And cars, and beef and where's beef and chicken, the American bird? She was very active, wasn't she? She might come back. Hopefully she will. Oh, this is a good one. Did I get hangovers? Massive hangovers, even when I was younger. But my hangovers were much worse as I got older. I presume we all experienced similar. But mine, oh God, my hangovers were just the worst. And when you relapse, and you go back on it, you miss out the hangover stage and you go straight to withdrawal. Frank, love you, channel, Stephen. Loved you all in chat. Thanks, Frank. We've done 1.25 hours now, which is good. I had quite a lot of people on. When you were hungover, did your colleagues ever have to cover you? Not really, Jamie, to be honest. I had a work centre London in the Met, late 80s, 90s, and so on. At that time, a lot of people drank. And it was like a lot of people were hungover. Nobody really mentioned it, right, to be honest. When I retired, I got more into it, as it were, and got worse. So I didn't really have any comments from colleagues. Most of the colleagues were heavy drinkers as well. And for at that time, Samantha, Thomas should struggles after relapse. He hadn't relapsed. Apologies, it must be a typo. It would be, Samantha. We know all about them, don't we? From 18 months ago, 16 months ago. Struggles after relapse. Oh, got you. Right, okay. I'll have to check that. Too late to change it. Right, okay. That's quite funny, that, if it is. Isn't it, really? Okay. Right, this is another one. Socialising without alcohol. Can you do it? Can you do it? Best to try and keep out of the pub when it's really, really busy. Best to, if you're going to go in, just have a coffee or something, So, to be honest, I thought Steve had relapsed on holiday. No. Tracy Platt, I only got hangovers if I drank till midnight or later. I used to have parties and yeah, I got hangovers all the time, mate. It was one of them things I used to say to some of the guys who used to drink with. I feel terrible. I got really bad hangover. They didn't have them. They said they didn't have hangovers. I don't know anybody else who had a hangover. Really, I think it's telling lies, make themselves feel better. Cheers, Steve. I keep telling him to contact you. He's only 42 and he's lost everything. He's looking for rehab. He said it would cost over £8,000 from the Sunderland. Time to text this number. Is that where you're in? Sunderland or somewhere up there? Somewhere nearby. Lilith, I think some people will ask because while in hospital you have a routine, for example, meals cooked for you, etc. And then when you leave hospital, you're on your own. Yeah, it's a good point. That actually maybe they do. But like I said, I was so ill I couldn't face anything, to be honest. Never mind relapse. The camping holiday at France Steve video, for me that was scary. It's quite interesting now, isn't it? Yeah. It's incredibly easy to go. I'm going to chat in this video to go back to the booze when you've been off it, because you just you think it's quite normal, but it's not. After 8 years sober, I picked up alcohol again. Was that the one? I don't know. Why did you say that? After 8 years, God knows what's happened to that title. But forget about them. Videos are worth watching anyway. Yeah, hospital. You get institutionalized in hospital, don't you? If you're in there for a long period of time. That is why Steve's channel is so important. It gives us some structure. Yeah, you've got to have structure. You have to have structure. If you don't have structure, you'll just float along. And then you float straight back to the boozer or the off license. You need to take it seriously. You need to look at yourself and you need to realise that this is it's a killer, isn't it? A killer. And it's not going to get any better unless you really focus and have this mantra in your head: I'm not going to drink today. I'm not going to drink tomorrow. And I'm going to get healthy again. There's nothing better than feeling healthy. Having the proper rest, the proper amount of food, the right food, plenty of water, a little bit of exercise. Do everything in moderation for once. So stopping is just the start of your journey. Is staying stopped where the real work begins. 100%. You have to build your awareness around addiction. Pick up tools to beat the addiction when it comes in. Definitely. Yeah, you will learn as you go. More or less, when you. The earthiest reality hits you when you come out of hospital. It's very easy to go back coping with everyday life. There's also a bit of company in hospital, isn't it? It's busy as well. You come back to an empty flat. It's cold and dark, early at night, and you think, well, that's not good, is it? Get a couple of cans delivered. Can be easy done. Very right, I'm off to pick up my daughter from her job. Good night all, and keep sober and healthy. Thanks, good to see you. Thanks so much, Georgia. Thanks for that donation. Thanks, Daniel, for your donation as well. And thanks for the coffees and everything else that people have done. Jimmy, good night. Thanks for the donations. 100%. Jamie, sorry. We'll see you soon, and we'll wrap now, I think, tonight. Quite a good Friday, quite dynamic. Good chat. Learned a few things. Made a few people accountable. Got a few things to do, and we'll keep cracking on. Hopefully this weekend we'll all have a sober weekend. If you can't keep sober, then keep trying, and keep positive about your life, and realize the benefits are there. Sobriety is not a cure; it's just a temporary way of coping with alcohol. We will always be alcoholics. Good point. We have to keep coping with it. Good night, Leslie. Good night, Southeast. We'll see you soon, and I'll do a few videos tomorrow. If anybody's got any topics they want to discuss, then drop a little line to me or text my number. Or Jackie over at £800 for Sun and Rehab, but it will be done from his own home. So thanks for setting me up. Okay, cheers, Jackie. Little over 7 months sober now, and all my so-called mates know what we should know. They'll just drift off. Still they'll drift off. Dan, see you soon. Thanks everyone chatting. Yeah, thanks to the moderators. Thanks for all the donations. Thanks for all being here and making it another wonderful sober Friday. Take it easy, all. See you soon.